Hey everyone, I'm really excited to be with you guys today. I just feel like God has just been doing so much in my life, and I would just love to share that as well as the heart of the Father and the mission that I feel like He's given me. And when you fall in love with someone, you can't keep silent and you can't hold it in. You just need to share it, and you just have to share it with every person that you encounter. And so I just feel like the Lord has put it on my heart to just start putting videos up like this. And yeah, I don't really know what He has in store, but I'm excited for whatever it is He has to offer you guys, and offer whoever it is that finds these videos and listens to them. And with this, I just really pray that people would just know Him more and know His heart more. And it makes me so sad because so many people have their own misconceptions about who God is. And I've been talking to several people, whether they be friends or family members, that, they don't understand why there are certain rules in the church and why we have to be obedient. And I guess we can just start there. And so, the question of obedience, like why do we have to be obedient? Why do we have to, obedience is such a hard thing. And especially if you've been through people that have been in authority above you that don't honor you or care for you or kind of take advantage of you, or, you feel mistreated and used in that, and you feel disrespected even in a way, and you become small in a way that makes you uncomfortable, or submissive in a way that makes you uncomfortable. And, whatever it is, the situation, whatever that situation may be, I just want to speak into that and speak light and truth into that. And God the Father, He gave us the Bible so that we could truly understand Him. And there are resources out there where you can learn how to properly read the Bible. My sister, actually, she came to me and she didn't understand it. She didn't understand the Old Testament. She read something and she was like, I don't understand why women have to put veils over their heads, or I don't understand why women can't speak up in church. Like, oh my gosh, this is God. This is what God says. This is what God believes. I'm not about that. I don't believe in that. She was totally turned off by it. And so, friends, I just encourage you to, if that has been your experience before in the past, just to really, and I'll put this in the description below. I'll give you guys some resources in that. But I just really encourage you guys to keep searching and keep looking. And we were made to worship, and I could go off on so many trails here, but I really just want to return back to obedience and just further explain that. But the Bible shows us the heart of the Father, and the heart of the Father is really shown through Jesus, and just His love for us, and that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And so following that, we see the immense love that the Father has for us. We see His heart for us. We see His great mercy for us. And, He sent His only Son to die for us. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do any of that. He could have just left us. If He didn't really care about us, He could have just left us in our agony and in our despair. And there's so many different trails that I could go off on. But just the love of the Father. And I'll be posting more videos to explain more about this, because my heart is to show His heart. But the reason why I'm able to be obedient, and I pray to be more and more obedient, is because I've seen His character and I can trust in that. I've seen His love and I can trust in that. And I know that I've spent, I guess, a good chunk of my life trying to figure it out on my own and make my own plans. And I've come to the point where I'm like, no matter what I plan, I know that you always have something better, and it's such an adventure. And so I want whatever you want for my life. And just that's led me to a greater surrender and a greater obedience. And in my past, God has, and He still continues to do this, He'll tell me to do something. And oftentimes I'm like, it could be small, it could be big, like go and talk to this person, or Actually, the other day, I'm a college student, and the Lord just directed me, and he showed me where he wanted me to eat my lunch. And I sat there and I was like, okay, God, like I'm ready, like whatever it is that you want to do. If someone's supposed to come and sit with me, or I'm supposed to see someone and then we start having a conversation, I don't really know what you have planned. And so to my right, I saw two girls talking, and they were sitting together, and they were like nursing students, and God was like, go and sit with them. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I would just feel so stupid going over there, and it would really just humble me. And for me to go up to two strangers that I didn't even know and ask if I could sit with them, that just seemed very difficult for me to do for a lot of different reasons. And I was just praying. I was like, okay, God, like I confirmed, whether or not that was him. And I'm at the point in my prayer life where the Lord speaks directly to me, and it's such a witness of the heart of the Father, and how, when we surrender more and more to him, he comes and fills us with more of himself. And there are so many different ways, and I'll talk about this more later, but just ways where we can grow in intimacy with him. And that's something that I really want to share about on this channel. But so yeah, I was like, okay, God, like I'm gonna go do it. And so I go over and I sit with them. I start talking to them, and I had prayed for peace, and that the Lord would just fill me and just give me a holy boldness and a new confidence. And so he did that, and everything was just flowing so naturally. And I was just, getting to know these girls and talk to them. And the Lord just gave me, I felt like he was giving me a word for one of the girls. And he made it obvious that he wanted to give something to her through me. And so she didn't have time to stay and for me to pray with her. She had to go to class, but we met about a week later, and I saw how the Lord moved in her life, and saw the things that he wanted to give her and lead her into a deeper surrender. And he led me to pray with her. And it was just a great moment of the Lord pursuing her. And that's really his heart. He wants to pursue those that love him and that don't know him. He wants to pursue each and every one of us. And it's really, yeah, God is so good in that way. And I pray that he may send more people to do his will in that way, and just go after his kids, and go after souls in that way for the sake of their salvation. But this obedience, even when we don't understand, we can see how God works, and we can trust in him and whatever it is he tells us. And that takes more discernment and more prayer, and even praying for discernment of spirits. And that's still something that I pray for, that I may know what is God's voice and what is not. And recently that's been something that I've been struggling with more, but just knowing what is God's voice and what is not. But when we know when something is God's voice, when we feel peace. And I met with someone, a priest, and he recently told me that God is not the God of confusion. Essentially, he'll give us peace. And when we have peace with something and the timing is now, then we go ahead and we run with it. But we can trust in God. We can pray to be obedient. We can seek obedience and try to be obedient, through his grace, because there's nothing that we can do on our own. It's all by his grace. We can pray for that and strive for that, trusting that God knows what is best for us, that he loves us, trusting in his heart for us, and that he'll never lead us astray. And, there can be times of difficulty that come up, but it's all for his greater glory and even for us. And we're made to worship. We're going to worship something, whether that's a career, a job, a person in our life, whether that's our mother or significant other, or a celebrity even, or, our appearance. Like, oh my gosh, like, I have to look perfect all the time, whatever it is. We were made to worship. And so if anything comes in that spot that is not God, and it's called, the language that I've heard for it is God spot. Like, if anyone comes into that God spot that is not of the Lord, that is not the Lord, then that thing becomes an idol. and that will destroy us. Every single time that will destroy us. And so, yeah, God is the only one that is meant to be in that spot. And I could go on and on and on. And yeah, there's so much that I could talk about and cover, and that's something that will come in the future. But I just want to thank you for coming on here and listening. And yeah, I just pray blessings over your life. And if there's something that you want me to talk about in this, go ahead and feel free to leave a comment. Leave that in the comment. If you have any questions or any prayer requests, just go ahead and leave that below. But thank you so much for watching, and I just pray blessings on your life and on your day.